After graduating from high school, you feel burnt out. Your parents encourage you to get a job. You desire to spend the summer relaxing before enrolling in college next year. With $525 in your bank account, you convince your parents you will not need any additional money over the summer. The amount of money in your bank account can be represented by the following function, where W represents the total number of weeks. So A of W, this is your dependent, W is your independent. So think of this as like your X and your Y's. How much money you have in your bank account depends on the number of weeks. So we can assume that that 5, 20, 25 is going to start to dwindle as you have to pay for things. Now I've gone ahead and I've plugged in this equation and I went through to make sure there was no additional mistakes. And then I'm going to go up to Windows. It already provides us the domain. It gives us the lowest X and lowest Y. Lowest X, lowest Y, I'm going to hit Zoom Fit. And now I'm going to graph this in the appropriate window. 0 to 10 is your minimum and maximum for X, and 152 to 525 is your minimum and maximum for Y's. Remember, this is your bank account, and this is the number of weeks. I'm going to go through each question now that we have completed Part A, and I'm going to see what are they asking me to do. They're asking me to identify how much money is in your bank account provided it's 5 weeks, 5 weeks after the summer has started. So your T value, or in this case your W, is 5. Part C again is how much money. It's a value here. We're going to have a Y value, a monetary value, and when we do have that value, we're going to round to the nearest cent or the nearest hundredth. Here we have 5 weeks and 4 additional days. There are 7 days in a week. Again, in Part D, we're asked how low. They're talking about how much money is in your bank account before you get a part-time job. So you can see you're quickly losing money in your bank account. You get a part-time job, and then it slowly starts to rebuild back up. And lastly, they're asking how many weeks and how many days before your account balance, again, is $200. So it'll be somewhere around here. All right, let's get started. So I have the picture. I'm going to go second trace value. X is our independent. X is like our W or a T in other problems. Typing in 5 and rounding this to the nearest cents. 152.38. Rounded to the nearest hundredth, nearest cents. Part C, second trace value. 5 plus, anytime we have a fraction, we're going to place it in parentheses. Again, rounding it to the nearest cents, 154.86. How low? I want to know this low point. How low does your balance go before you get a part-time job? Second trace, finding the minimum. And I'm going to start by the lowest point, what appears to be the lowest, and then following the directions. Go somewhere to the left, press enter. Come back, go somewhere to the right, press enter, and then go in where you think the lowest point is and press enter. Now sometimes students go, which answer am I supposed to write down? Remember, your Y's are going to express how much money you have in your savings account after a given amount of time. So you have $152.36 in your bank account. That's the low before you get a part-time job and start to replenish the bank account with more money. How many weeks and days from the beginning of summer will it take before your account is back to $200? So I go to Y equals and I go down to 200. I want to find out before it's back to it. So it's gone low and we come back to it. What is this precise point? Second, trace, intersect. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to press enter 3 times. Enter, enter, enter. And now it says time, how many weeks and days. So I'm going to write down this exact amount. 7.779606. Do not round that. What does this mean? It's going to be 7 weeks, and then I'm going to take this amount, so it's a little bit more than 7 weeks, and I'm going to change it into days. How do I do that? Well, how many days are there in a week? 7, and then I'll round to the nearest whole number, 5. So we can assume that at the start of the summer, 7 weeks and 5 days later, you are now back up to $200 in your bank account.